Field lights, wings shine mean in the heat of the night. Push trucks rolling, engines cry, heartbeat hidden like a war drum sky. Fuel fumes burning, crowd starts to roar. You ain't here to live, you're here for war. Green flag snaps and you're loosing the wind, throwing dirt and chasing that wind. Throttle pinned, elbows out wide, hunting that cushion like it stole your pride. Slide job, send it deep in the corner and pray it sticks. Right rear throwing clay off the cushion's grip. Slide job, fans bang boards yelling, send it son, glory or wreck, there ain't no in between rides. Slide job, hold tight baby, this ain't no parade, this is dirt track thunder and we came to invade. Hot laps hitting like a freight train swing. G-forces bite when they ride rear digs. Slick in the middle, tacky up high, living on the edge of a half-second line. One mistake and you're kissing the wall. Heroes rise fast, legends fall. This ain't a game for the calm or tame. Fortune screams aloud for the ones who aim. Hammer down, lean hard on that wing. If you ain't risking it all, you ain't winning a thing. Slide job, send it deep in the corner and pray it sticks. Right rear throwing clay off the cushion's grip. Slide job, fans bang boards yelling, send it son, dirt in your teeth, but damn this life fun. Slide job, wide open hearts in a world built on grit. Ain't no better feeling than making her stick. White flag waving hands.
Welcome to DRSN Digital Racing Sports Network. We're going to bring you tonight. Let's see, where is my iRacing screen at? Tonight we're going to be here for the Aces SimSport 360 Winter Sprint Series. Going to be opening night here. See if we can get our bugs worked out of the system. Always starts off with something rough, doesn't it? Why is our iRacing not showing up on our main screen here? Let's go back over to the studio here real quick. Always has to be something that's a little bit amiss when we go to start off. So we got a little bit of time in right there doing practice right now. There we go. Loading up in here for us. 360 sprints here at Lanier Speedway. Some of the top 360 drivers in iRacing here with us tonight. We got about 15 minutes worth of practice. And you can see cars not hitting the racetrack yet. My name is Chris Murphy, Digital Racing Sports Network, DRSN. Happy to be here with you. Going to cover this whole series, the AcesUp SimSports. Been nice enough to have us here for the season. Going to start off here tonight at Lanier Speedway. Let's see if we can find the schedule out. If we can get back up to the full screen right here, we should have our schedule. There we go. So tonight, Lanier Speedway, just 2 weeks from now, I'm going to take next week off. 2 weeks from now, we're going to be at Eldora. Then we're going to show up for Weed Sport Kokomo on the 17th. And we'll take another week off for Christmas. Come back on January 7th in the new year at USA International Speedway. Then we'll find ourselves the next week at Lincoln, Lernerville, Oswego. We're going to end the season off at Knoxville. And it looks like I left my driver chat on, so we need to turn that off here real quick. We don't need to hear their cussing and screaming and all that good stuff. Because we know sprint car drivers are going to get a little bit rowdy. All right, so actually going on in iRacing right now is also the Pro Series qualifying. And we've got a couple of the top drivers right here in qualifying. Ethan Johnson finds himself third right now for the Pro Series qualifying, and he is here with us tonight. Ryan Avila also up in the top. Got a few other drivers here with us. I'm looking down through my list, but we've got about 15 guys here so far lining up for practice. You can see them getting ready. All right, come back over to the studio. So happy to be here with you. My name is Chris Murphy once again. Really got to give a big thanks out to the AcesUp SimSports for having us. Really looking forward to this season. We've been covering quite a few dirt track races, actually I said that backwards. We've been covering some NASCAR and some GT3, some endurance, but dirt is our home, and we're happy to be back here tonight. So we've got just a little bit of time here left in the session. Get back over to the full screen. So practice right now. It looks like just a few minutes left to go. Let's see, 5 minutes left to go right now in practice. They were going to let him hit the racetrack with about 3 to go, so they set for 15 minutes. So we're going to run a 15-minute practice, so we'll run 2 laps of qualifying, then 8-lap heat races. And last I heard, they were going to take 4 out of each heat to the feature. We'll see how that ends up. We got a few different camera angles here. That's a nice drone shot. We'll use that for the center of the screen here to get going throughout the night. So happy to be here with you. If you're new to the channel, give us a like, give us a subscribe out there. Appreciate you being here with us. We can see quite a few of the drivers now getting ready to get out on the racetrack. We've got about a couple minutes left to go. We'll have drivers on the track, but looking through our lineups, looking through our roster of drivers, I see Zachary Martin here in the 004. And the numbers on the cars aren't going to match my leaderboard here a little bit, so we'll get situated. There's Josh Whitman, also we were Tanner Pettit, Ethan Johnson, as we mentioned earlier, Greg Parmley, Ryan Paget. I see William Claps made the show, Ryan Avila, Wyatt Schuhart, Ricky Thompson, Dustin Steinman, Gary Offutt, Owen Wilson, Aiden Forrester. Aiden, another one of the drivers up towards the top, actually 4th right now in the Pro Series qualifying. Kenny Hoffman. Seeing Kenny up there on the list as well. He's also won quite a few races here with Aces SimSports. So we'll see him put on a good show here tonight. Shane Gallo, Manning Urish, Tyler Shell, and Scott Thomason. That is all the drivers we have right now sitting in the pit area getting ready to roll out for practice. We're going to roll out up here in about 1 minute. So we'll take a look at our settings here real quick. 8-minute heat race. We can see the weather's going to be nice and clear. That's nice. So here's our rules for the night. 15 minutes practice. As we said, 8-lap heat races. Set for 4 heat races. We'll see how many drivers show up. That might get cut down to 3. A C-main if we need it. Also a B-main. And then a 30-lap feature event here at Lanier. Nice, tight little 3/8 racetrack. We're kind of races like a quarter with a high bank. You'll see multiple grooves here tonight. You expect that top groove to go away. But if you can get up and run that cushion early on, you're going to be hooked up. But I think what you're going to see, if we can find somebody that can rotate around the bottom. I've watched a lot of highlights from the Aces SimSports over the years, and you're going to see drivers like Kenny Hoffman trying to roll that bottom of the racetrack. And if you can get this car to turn down here, you can cut off some distance. But you can see the banking right here as we look into turn number 1. Yes, we got some cars getting ready to roll out on the racetrack. As we got about 10 seconds left, they're going to let them roll out here. We're going to see who can find the right groove. This is an open setup league, so we'll see who's got the car dialed in. No fixed setups for these guys. And it looks like it's going to be Ethan Johnson on the racetrack first out there on the number 11. And you can see him already pushing that cushion up on the top of the racetrack. Look back here, we got Greg Parmley in the 104. William Clapp. Take a look at the 49er, Ryan Avila. I've watched Ryan run around quite a few races. We covered one of his races in another league here just a while back. Look for Ryan to be up towards the front of this. Kenny Hoffman's going to go around there and practice right there in front of Avila. William Clapp in the 4C down there on the bottom of the racetrack. We'll take a look here at Gary Offutt in the 94. Who else we have? Just made his way out on the racetrack. Josh Whitman in the number 5. See if any of our new toys are working here. So Josh Whitman out of Olin, New York. Ryan Village just from Lemoore. I don't know what state Lemoore is. Does anybody else know? Somebody in the chat know where Lemoore is? Just chime in right there. About a minute and a half left to go here in practice. First opening night for the Aces SimSport 360 Sprint Winter Freeze Series. My name is Chris Murphy with DRSN. Happy to be here tonight. Gonna be here all series long. Gonna last us about 10 weeks. Or 9 weeks if I counted right. Once again, here we look at the 120 of Ethan Johnson. It says 120 on the screen, but it's actually 11 on the livery. The TPR sponsored number 11, Ethan Johnson. Wyatt Schuhart out here in the number 1. Trying to get a good look at it there. See if we can zoom in on it here. The 1WS here of Schuhart. Get ready to close up some practice. 49 seconds left to go here in practice. Once again, we take the William Clapp. We'll look back here. Ricky Thompson in the 24. Greg Parmley in the 104. So, looks like we've got about 21 drivers going to make it here tonight. We're going to see just what that's going to bring us for heat races and qualifying. I'm assuming that may be 3 7-car heats. But we'll see how they split it up here. See if anybody else shows up here as qualifying. Gets ready to get started here in about 18 seconds or so, about 10 seconds. So we'll get wrapped up with our practice sessions. Fast time right now in practice is Ryan Avila. No surprise right there with 11.192. Almost a full 2/10 back is Aiden Forrester. And then it's Tanner Pettit, Josh Whitman, Ethan Johnson, Kenny Hoffman. Our top 6 right now in hot laps. I've won a lot of hot laps in my life, and it doesn't always transfer over to the race. So we're going to see how this does transfer over tonight. Ryan Padgett back there in the 98 as we are going to get ready for qualifying. Practice is wrapping up. Appreciate you being here with us here at DRSN. Kind of getting this channel going. We do a lot of coverage with we do some broadcasting with some other groups. You'll see us on Tuesday nights covering some asphalt truck races. But we are here on our own channel tonight. Happy to be here with the folks at AcesUp SimSports. First car on the racetrack here is going to be Josh Whitman in the 5. See if he can see where he can put up a target time here for everybody. He's going to make his way around. Actually, it's going to be Whitman across the line first at 11.671. Schoblock going to take the top spot at 11.554. Ty Schoblock, expect him to be quick here tonight. 11.560. Whitman at 11.592. William Clapp's going to come across the line in third right now. But we still got quite a few drivers left to hit the racetrack. We haven't seen Ethan Johnson on the track. Ryan Avila, Ryan Padgett. Schuhart. Cole Crafts is going to roll across, take that third. Ethan Johnson going to come across, take the top spot. 11.55. And I'm not even going to try to do the quick time thing or anything like that. That's just not my things. But Schuhart now to the top. 11.523. Right there behind him, Avilio, the 11.550, and it's Ethan Johnson right now in third at 11.553. And Pettit's going to come across the line, take that top spot away. 11.429. Squeezes in front of Avilio there to take that pole position. Kenny Hoffman rolls across in third right now, so times are tightening up. And it looks like everybody has... That is going to be it for qualifying right there. See if we can pull up our results. And it's going to be Tanner Pettit. Fast time at 11. Oh, there we go. At 11.429. Ryan Avila is going to be second. Kenny Hoffman. Aiden Forrester came across in fourth. We didn't see his time. Tyler Schell in fifth. Wyatt Schuhart, Ethan Johnson, Tyler Schobleck, Josh Whitman, Cole Craft, Ricky Thompson, William Clapp, Shane Gallo, Dustin Steinman, Braden Carter, Zachary Martin, Scott Thomason, and Ryan Padgett's going to round out our 18-car field. And we're going to get this off the screen because we are already getting rolled out for our heat race. We've got cars lining up down there on the bottom of the racetrack. It looks like we're going to have an 8-car heat. So once we get everybody out here on the racetrack, we'll get this lineup for this first heat race. Still waiting for a couple of guys to get gridded up. It looks like we're going to run 3 heat races. I am going to guess they're going to take 4. And this is going to be our starting heat race. Starting for heat, Cole Crafts is going to start P1. Ethan Johnson outside of him on outside of the front row. Inside of row number 2 is going to be Ryan Avila. Aiden Forrester is going to start outside in that 4th spot. And it's going to be Kenny Hoffman. And this thing's just glitching up on me. So we'll try this one more time here. Cole Craft, Ethan Johnson, Aiden Forrester, Tanner Pettit. Shane Gallo is going to start in 5th. Zachary Martin's going to roll off in that 6th position outside of row number 3. Then it's going to be Gary Offutt and Owen Wilson going to round out our 8-car heat race. Cole Craft in the 29. We're going to go around one more time. Pace truck. And it is going to be Kraft and Johnson going to come to the line. Lights are out on the pace track. We're going to go around one more time. Going to come off of turn number 4. It's going to be Croft with a good start. He's going to get a good jump off of Johnson and Forrester down into turn number 1. But here comes Forrester down on the bottom in the 20. Johnson up on the top. Johnson's got a great run to see if he gets up on the cushion. Big slide job here from... Oh, he's going to hit Croft. Forrester's going to make some contact with Croft. That's going to shove Croft back to about 4th. That's going to let Ethan Johnson take the point. Tanner Pettit now works his way side by side here. One more time with Forrester and Croft. And it's going to be Pettit now up to 2nd. Croft's going to make his way, fall back to 3rd. And here comes the 20 of Forrester trying to get back up into the fight. Forrester back up to 3rd. Is going to slide up in front of Croft. But our fight's up front right now with Johnson and Pettit. Pettit's going to be a big slide coming off the corner. Johnson's going to cross him back under. They're going to head down the front straightaway. One more time. We've got 5 laps left to go in this race. This Johnson and Pettit going at it side by side. Pettit down on the bottom. Johnson on the top. They make contact coming down off the corner. They're going to get it straightened out. Johnson gets straightened out, but Pettit pays for it. He's going to fall back, and that is going to put Forrester up on the inside. It's now Forrester down to the bottom. Johnson and Croft are going to make some contact. Johnson's going to go around upside down. That is going to put Aiden Forrester up to the front. A lot of action going on in heat race number 1. It's Forrester, Pettit, and Gallo now finds his way up to 3rd. Forrester now to the front. No caution on that. Would kind of surprise me. Johnson's going to fall out of this race. And it's going to be Forrester going to come across the line to take the win here in heat race number 1. Tanner Pettit's going to come home in 2nd. Shane Gallo, nice spot there in 3rd. Is going to put himself into the feature. Cole Croft, Owen Wilson, Zachary Martin, Gary Offutt, and Ethan Johnson is going to end in the pits, and Offutt ends up without a front wing. A lot of action there in heat race number 1, so that is going to put Forrester, Pettit, Gallo, and Croft, I believe, into the feature. And we will get lined up for heat race number 2. So heat race number 1 in the books. Lemoore, California, thank you there, 1425, appreciate that. I wasn't quite sure where Lemoore was. So just south of me, which is nice, but we're just up here in Oregon. So heat race number 1 is in the books. Get ready for heat race number 2. We'll get our lineup here as soon as everybody gets on the screen. A lot of action there in heat race number 1. Some of the top drivers, sprint car drivers in iRacing here with us tonight. That first heat race was a little bit rough. Ethan Johnson ended up paying for it, ended up not finishing that heat. That's going to put him somewhere towards the back of the B, I'm sure. So we'll see if he can make his way out of that. All right, let's see if we can get our grid going here for heat race number 2. Looks like we're going to have seven drivers here. So Ricky Thompson going to be on the pole. Outside of him, Tyler Schobleck. Watch for Schobleck to run that cushion. Tyler Schell going to start 3rd inside of row number 2. Outside of him, Avila. My guess is Avila and Schobleck going to run that cushion up on the top, see if they can make their way around Thompson. We see Dustin Steinman in the 5. Dustin Steinman, one of our sponsors here tonight. Stein's Designs, if you're looking for a livery, reach out to Dustin. Scott Thompson, they're going to start outside of row number 3 in the 6th spot. And rounding out our 7-car field here in heat race number 2 is going to be Greg Parmalee in the 104. So 8 laps, 7 cars. Getting my bearings here, so we're going to roll off a turn number 2. Like the pace truck is going to pull in. We're going to go green this time by. It's going to be Thompson and Showblock. Thompson with a good start, but look at Shell. Shell with a good jump. He's going to get up into second. That's going to leave Showblock back there to third. Steinman down there on the bottom trying to make his way up, but Showblock and Avila are going to go around him on the outside. It is Shell. Shell up on down on the bottom of the racetrack. Thompson up on top. Shell going to slide up coming off at 2. It's going to be Thompson getting back down to the bottom. Let's see if he can get it, make a slider through 3 and 4. He is going to make that move back to the front. Here comes Showblock and Avila now. It's a 4-car battle here for the lead. And Thompson one more time slides up in front of Shell. Shell crosses him back under, coming off of 4 down into 1. 5 laps left to go in this 8-lap heat race. It is now Shell to the point. Thompson right there with him, trying to find a way around. '85 still on front. Showblock's now way up. We're almost 3 wide going down to the corner. Avila makes a great move up into second. That's going to leave Thompson back to third. Showblock to fourth. Showblock looks up underneath Thompson for that third spot. He is going to take it away, but here comes Thompson back to the bottom. Just can't quite find a way around. We come off of 4. 2 laps left to go. It is Shell, Avila, Showblock, and Thompson, our top 4 in this heat race. That is going to be your transfer cars. White flag. One more time to go round to go for Shell, Avila, Showblock down there in third. Here comes Shell, going to come off of turn number 4. Going to take the checkered flag here in heat race number 2. It is Shell, Avila, Showblock, Thompson, Steinman with a good run there in 5th. Thompson and Parmalee is going to round out our 7-car field here in heat race number 2. We'll go on to heat race number 3 here. And I still got that same practice up there. I need to learn to type a little factor. There we go. Let's see if we can take a quick look at the results there from heat race number 2 while they're getting gridded up. And it was Tyler Shell coming home with a win. Ryan Avila, Ty Showblock, Ricky Thompson, Dustin Steinman, Scott Thomason, and Greg Parmalee. Going to round out our 7-car field. We're going to get ready for heat race number 3 as we're getting lined up on the racetrack. Looks like we've got 7 cars in this heat as well. So we're going to end up with 22 cars here tonight, if my math is right. 8, 7, and 7. 14 and 8 makes 22. If you're out there in the chat, let us know how things are sounding. If we need to turn up some racing video, audio, turn me down, shut me up, whatever. Just throw your 2 bits in out there. We're getting ready here. Heat race number 3. My name is Chris Murphy, DRSN. Bringing you the AcesUp SimSports 360 Winter Sprint Series. 360 Sprint Winter Series. There we go. I keep saying it wrong. All right, so this is going to be our starting grid here. William Clapp on the pole here for heat race number 3. Josh Whitman, Wyatt Schuhart, Kenny Hoffman, Braden Carter, Ryan Paget, Manon Urish. They're going to start in 7th. I only see 6 cars on the racetrack, so I'm not quite sure who did not make the grid. It looks like Paget did not make it out there on the racetrack. So Clapp in the 04, good qualifying position for him. Let's see how he can if he can stay up in the front. I expect Kenny Hoffman in that 1 to come charging up through here, but Whitman and Schuhart both look really good in practice. All right, lights are out on the pace truck. Head up down the back straight into 3 and 4 one more time to get started here in heat race number 3. 6 cars for 4 spots into the feature. We may just start all 22. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. But Clapp going to bring him to the line. Clapp with a lead into 1, but here comes Schuhart down to the bottom. Slides up, actually scrubs up a lot of speed to make some contact with the 5 of Whitman. Whitman with some contact. That also looked like it put Kenny Hoffman out of this race. Unfortunately, Whitman also out of the race. So Clapp up to the point right now. Right there behind him, Braden Carter, Wyatt Schuhart, and Manning Urish, our top 4. Looks like that's going to be our 4 cars into the feature. Is Paget out of this race? Whitman out as well. Paget actually didn't even take the green. Good runner here from Clapp. Carter, Schuhart, Urish. That is going to be our top 4 right now. The only 4 cars left on the racetrack. Schuhart trying to find a way around Carter. I think we're going to see a slide job coming up, and he's going to do it. Nice big slider there from Schuhart. Carter going to try to cross it back under as they head down into 1. We're going to throw some haymakers back and forth here. 4 laps left to go in heat race number 2 as Schuhart and Carter going at it for that 2nd spot. In the meantime, Clapp likes what he's seeing. Back behind him, they are driving. He's driving away while these two are just throwing haymakers at each other. Schuhart, Carter, one more time back to the bottom. Here come Carter's going to stay in line behind Schuhart this time. 2 laps left to go. I think he's going to wait. Going to wait till the last lap, try to throw another slider, get that 2nd spot away. White flag, 1 more lap to go for Clapp. Here comes Schuhart. Back up to 2nd. Carter says none of that. He is going to take that 2nd spot back away. Schuhart's going to try one more time. Crossing over is going to be Carter. So it's going to be Schuhart 2nd, Carter 3rd. Clapp's going to take the win here in heat race number 3 in the 04. That is going to do it for heat race number 3. We got a little bit of warm, but it looks like everybody's going to make the feature. We're going straight to the main event here. Quick showing here tonight. So thanks everybody for being here. My name is Chris Murphy, DRSN Digital Racing Sports Network, bringing you the AcesUp SimSports 360 Sprint Winter Series. We're going to be here all series long. We got a little bit of warm-up going on. Take a look at our feature event. Get a look at our lineup going here in just a moment. Give me a chance to catch my breath. A lot of action going on those heat races. So first night here for the series. You know, some guys coming out trying to show what they got. We've got, like I said earlier, if you missed it earlier, some of the top iRacing sprint car drivers here with us tonight. And you're seeing it out there right now. So we're going to, our first time actually covering a race here at Lanier Speedway. The action is fast and furious, so no doubt about that. So we've got about 3 minutes left to go here in this warm-up. Really do appreciate you being here with us. So it looks like we're getting everybody lined up down in the infield. Give me a chance to play with a couple of my camera shots here, see what I got. We get to cover some endurance races, GT3, NASCAR, all kinds of different stuff, and those guys like to practice. We get like an hour and a half to 2 hours worth of practice on those things just to kind of get on, play around with their cameras, see what we got, but not here. It is fast and furious. We're just on here. We're going. We're going to have a little bit of a hot lap session here. About 3 minutes. Take a look at Aiden Forrester here in the 20. Ethan Johnson up there ripping the top up on the cushion. All right, we got a couple minutes here to go for a little pre-race warm-up, a little bit of hot laps here before we get the feature started. Right now, fastest time out there. It looks like it's going to be Tyler Schoblock now. Schoblock, Shell Johnson, your top 3 right here in this warm-up session here, right before the feature. Schoblock running a 12.652 out there right now, setting the pace. And as I go to his camera, he's going to get into the fence and spin it around down there. It looks like in 3 and 4. Forrester in the 20. Ethan Johnson did not have the heat race he wanted. Ended up not finishing the heat. Trying to get this car dialed in for the feature. He is going to be starting towards the back of this thing, so we'll see if he can make his way up to the front. Pettit in the 24 is going to go around, back it up into the wall. Watch for Avila in the 49. Should be starting somewhere close to the front of us in the top 3 or 4 rows. Looks like we've got some TPR fans in the chat rooting on for Avila. Ethan Johnson, another TPR teammate. All right, getting ready to wrap up our warm-up here. About 20 seconds left to go, and then we'll get gridded up for the feature. Everybody made the feature. I think they expected a few more cars here tonight. Only 23 showed up. We'll see how many actually make the start in the main event. Shane Gallo in the 21. He's got his SGR teammate right there behind him. William Clapp won his heat race here tonight. I know these guys were practicing hard before they got started out here, so SGR with a good showing here tonight as well. So TPR. All right, we're going to get gridded up here for the feature event. All right, 30-lap main event. We're going to, hopefully we can make it through this one. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Now look at the feature races coming up here. So 2 weeks from tonight, going to be Eldora on December 3rd. They're going to take next week off for Thanksgiving. Weedsport on the 10th. Then we're going to come up with Kokomo. So a couple big tracks. Then we get back to the short track at Kokomo on December 17th. USA International on the 7th. Lincoln Speedway on January 14th. And we'll come back to Lernerville. Lernerville, that's going to be a fun one. Don't miss that one for sure. And Oswego on the 4th. And we're going to round it up at the sprint car capital of the world, Knoxville, on February 11th. That's going to wrap up the short season here for the 360 Sprint Winter Free Series. So as we're getting lined up here, let's see if we can show you the grid. They're going to get, Pace Truck's going to pull off. It's going to be Aiden Forrester on the pole. Tyler Schell starting in second spot. In the second row, inside is going to be William Clapp, Tanner Pettit. Third row, Ryan Avila on the inside. Outside of him is going to be Wyatt Schuhart. Starting back in 7th, Shane Gallo. Ty Schoblock in 8th. Then we're going to see Braden Carter in the 9th spot. Cole Kraft starting back there in 10th. Ricky Thompson's going to start inside of row number 6. Manning Urish. Owen Wilson's going to start 13th. Dustin Steinman. Josh Whitman. Zachary Martin in the 8th row. Back in the 9th row is going to be Scott Thomas and Kenny Hoffman. Watch that number 11 to Kenny Hoffman come to the front. Gary Offutt. Greg Parmalee going to start 20th, and then rounding out our 22-car field is going to be Ryan Paget and Ethan Johnson back there starting dead last. Keep your eye on that number 11 there in that 22nd starting spot. He is going to come to the front. We'll keep an eye on him. I think we're going to come off at turn number 4. And we're going to go green. It's going to be Forrester and Schell. Forrester with a great jump down into 1. We are side by side. Forrester on the outside, Schell down there on the bottom. Forrester's got good pace here right now. He is pulling away from this field a little bit, but Schell's right there behind him. Pettit now. Pettit down to the bottom for that second spot. Can't quite clear the slider. He is going to have to settle back into the little contact right there. Look like the one car of Schuhart still in trouble, bouncing off the wall. He is going to collect one more car. And it looks like we're going to have our first caution of the night. Now see if we can find a quick replay of that. See if we can see what happened to the one car. See him up here on the outside of Gallo there in the 21. Still up on the outside, heading down into turn number 1. Gonna slide up. You got Clapp there on the 4 car on the outside of him. Schuhart still down here on the bottom. Oh, it's gonna be Clapp coming down off the wall. Clapp kind of got a little bit loose, came down off the fence, got in front of Schuhart. That is also going to collect a 17 of Schoblock. Not much damage, but Schuhart taking the worst of it. And here comes, not quite sure who that was, but we got wings going everywhere. We get back to live time. So early on in this race, we're only about 1 or 2 laps into it. We've already got some cars down in the pit area. So Schuhart now going to limp down to the pits. The 004 there of Zachary Martin also as well. So our leader right now, Aiden Forrester. Lights are out on the pace truck. Going to pull down. They're going to come off of turn number 4 one more time. Forrester, we're single file. It's Forrester, Shell, Pettit, Avila, Gallo, your top 5 right now. We get back up to the front here, and it's the 24 Pettit down there on the bottom. Can't quite find a way around. So Forrester, Pettit and Shell going at it right now. Let me see, that is Shell up on the top, Pettit down on the bottom. They reel in that first place leader Forrester there just a little bit, but not quite enough. But Avila now back there in 4th, trying to make up a charge. Look back here, we'll see this battle back here for 7th, 8th, and 9th. It's Whitman, Kraft, and Thompson. Now we got a car around. It looks like it might have been the couldn't quite tell who was the 8 car down there on the bottom. We got a little bit loose off the corner. Forrester now going to come try to put a lap on Zachary Martin. You can see the 004 right there, or 004 right there in front of him. Shell up there on the top. Pettit and Avila now side by side. Avila down to the bottom. We talked about that early on. If there's anybody that can roll the bottom of this racetrack and make it short, it's Avila, and Avila is making it work down there. But Pettit is going to get a run off the top of 2. Going to take that 3rd spot back away. It's still Aiden Forrester out in front. Forrester, Shell, Pettit, Avila now our top 3. Avila's now going to fall back to 4th. Ethan Johnson started back in 22nd, up to 6th right now, trying to make one more spot. If he can get around Braden Carter in that 5 car, take that 5th spot away, and he's going to do it. Actually, that was Whitman up there in the 5 car. So we're taking a look here at Johnson up there and made it all the way up to 6 so far. Actually, now he's going to take that 5th spot away from Braden Carter. It's still Forrester, Shell, Pettit, Avila, kind of single filed out. But here comes Ethan Johnson back there in the 11th. So it's Avila now in 4th, trying to close up on Pettit, but just losing a little bit of ground. Side by side as we head through 1 and 2 one more time. Avila working that top. Watch the 11 of Ethan Johnson now. He's about 2 seconds back from our top 4. He's got Braden Carter right there behind him. We got some side by side action here in the back with the 21 of Gallo and Thompson down here on the bottom. Thompson's going to work his way around the 21. 21 with a little bit of contact with the outside wall. He gets it gathered back up. He's got Ty Schobelak down there on the bottom of him as well. So 15 laps left to go. We're halfway through this. And it is still Aiden Forrester out in front. I believe he's led just about every single lap. Pettit and Avila still running 3rd and 4th. Avila now down, rolling that bottom of the racetrack again, trying to find a little bit of extra traction, but he's actually losing a little bit of ground off the corner. Slides it back up to the cushion. Through 1 and 2, we head into turn number 3. Everybody just searching for a little traction. You can see just how slick it is through the center. If you can find just a little bit extra bite. Way up on the cushion, looks like you have some bite, and so does the bottom of the racetrack. That's what Avila is trying to find down there. But so far, it is still Aiden Forrester out in front. Tyler Shell. Pettit now. Right there, nose to tail. Pettit down to the bottom. Going to try to get around Shell for that 2nd spot as they run down the front straightaway, race into 1, and it is going to be Pettit to 2nd. Here comes Avila. We've got a 3-car race for 2nd. Shell, Pettit, and Avila now going at it. Avila on the bottom. Pettit in the middle. Shell way up on the top of the racetrack. Here comes Avila one more time. He is going to try to pull a slider up on Pettit. No, he's going to cut it off short. Roll it through the center of the racetrack as Pettit catches the wall a little bit, but still, Avila is still not able to make the pass. 8 laps left to go. It is Forrester, Shell, Pettit, Avila, Johnson, your top 5. Pettit and Avila still here side by side. Shell's kind of got away from this battle. You can see Avila down on the bottom of the racetrack trying to make it work. He gets a little bit of run off of 2. See if he can pull that slider. He's trying to slide up the racetrack, but just cannot quite clear Pettit for that second spot. He might have him right here. Pettit into the wall a little bit, but Avila's still going to keep the car down on the bottom as they are now closing. Avila's finally going to clear him. They're going to try to swap over Pettit down to the bottom, but not able to get... Oh, as I say that, Pettit to the bottom. Avila rolling through the middle, right through the black. And they are gaining on that second place of Tyler Shell. But in the meantime, 3 seconds out to the good. Out in front is Aiden Forrester. Avila, Pettit, and Shell still going at it for second. Avila up there on the outside. We haven't looked much through the middle of the pack. There's been too much going on up here at the front to really scroll through anywhere. Take a look at Kenny Hoffman. Kenny's made his way up about as far as he's going to go right now, about 18. Might get one more spot if he can get by Brandon Carter. We've got 3 laps left to go. It is Forrester, Shell, Avila, Pettit, and Johnson, your top 5. And here, this battle for second place, you could throw a blanket over these 3. Shell in the 85, Avila in the 49, and it's Tanner Pettit there in the 24, all going at it for second. I think Avila's got a little better pace right now. That car's really coming in. We're white flag. One more lap to go. Take a look at Forrester. Is going to come off of turn number 2. Oh, going to come across the stripe. Take the checker flag. It's going to be Forrester. And it's going to be... Avila is going to get second at the line by 3... What is that? 0.03 of a second. Avila just snuck by at the finish. That is going to round out our 30-lap feature. Forrester with the win. Ryan Avila, Tyler Shell going to be our top 3. Tanner Pettit, Ethan Johnson going to round out our top 5. Let's see if we can go back and see that pass by Avila there at the finish line. They're going to come across the line. You can see Avila with a good run off a 2 down the back straightaway. Going to head down in here to 3 and 4. And Avila just able to hold that bottom a little better. Shell kind of slid up through the center, lost a little bit of grip, get up into the black. Avila is going to get a good run off of 4. And it's a drag race to the line for second. And Avila is going to take it. Pettit back there in 4th. We'll take a look at our results here. Let's see if we've got anybody in the waiting room here. Looks like we do, so we're going to get Aiden Forrester in here with us real quick. Aiden, Chris Murphy here in the booth. How you doing, buddy? Oh, just a second here. I got you there. All right, let's try that one more time. Aiden, Chris Murphy in the booth. Are you with us, buddy? All right. Not sure if he can... Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Aiden. Got to turn on the right microphone. Hey, you there with us, buddy? Chris Murphy in the booth.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you got out front early, started on the pole. Just didn't look back. It looks like you just had it all dialed in there tonight. What are you going to give credit to there for that? Good, you looked great out there every single lap. Didn't look like you made any mistakes. How did it look from your view?
Yeah, we had a really good car. Can't thank Tanner Pettit enough. Once again, I mean, car was dialed, and I just held on, and we came out with a win. Felt really good. It was just ripping the top there, and we just made good decisions through lap traffic, and we're able to get through them really quick, and we came out with the win.
Yeah, not nearly as much lap traffic as I expected there to be. But guys, you probably don't have a mirror in the car. You can't see what's going on behind you, but they were just kind of going at it back and forth for a second all night long. Kind of helped you just kind of get away. You won by about 3.5, almost 4 seconds there. Is Lanier Speedway usually a place you run really well?
Yeah, it is. We've always been really good here as a team, and as a driver, I've always felt really confident here. So, really happy we were able to come out with that. That's really big lead, and can't thank Tanner enough. I mean, he's done a lot for me, and yeah, we had a really good night, and that's good points to start off the season. Hopefully, we can keep it going, and it'd be pretty cool to win another championship with AcesUp.
Well, before we get, I mean, it's my first season here with Aces Up. You guys just put on a hell of a show. I hope it's going to be like that all season. We got Eldora here in a couple of weeks. We got a week off for Thanksgiving. How do you feel about Eldora in 2 weeks?
Yeah, that's another good track for us. I think we'll be dialed, and we have a really good shot at another top three, another win. So we'll show up, and we'll be dialed again, and hopefully we can keep clicking off the wins.
Well, hey, before we let you get out of here, do you have anybody else you want to give a thanks to?
Yeah, first of all, I can't thank Chad for putting on the league, for you putting on the stream, and I can't thank Tanner enough. Like I said earlier, he's the man that puts in the time and the effort to give me a car that's winnable. So can't thank him enough. Can't thank Jimmy P. Mac Tools, 1425 Photography, AcesUp SimSports, City Photography, Trackside Collective, Blake Carrick Racing, and Ethan Johnson at Free Speed for all the help.
Well, congratulations again tonight, and good luck to you through the rest of the pro qualifying, and hopefully we'll see you again in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
All right, we'll get our second place runner here, Ryan Avila. And if I say your last name right, please correct me. But Ryan, hey man, Chris Murphy here in the booth. Great run out there. You did you just ran about just about every groove there was to run on that racetrack.
Yeah, all over the place at the end there, and ended up with second after finding the lane on the bottom under shell, and yeah, just bid my time really well with Tanner and Tyler there at the end. Just kind of trying to find out where I could go with that traffic, and yeah, just use my right foot to my advantage, and ran right through the slick at the end.
Yeah, you were about the only one that was able to make that bottom work nearly that well. What did you do differently to the car, or was it just that really good right foot that helped you out down there?
It I guess it could be both. We all three of us, Aiden and Tanner, were pretty much on the same stuff at the end, and I mean maybe one single change with the wing or whatever, but yeah, just honestly just right foot and keeping it as straight as possible. I mean it seems there's like rubber in the track once you get to just the lane up off the bottom. I mean nothing really you could do at the end there because it just the way the track's ran in, it kind of just goes one lane. You know we never touch the middle of the track in qualifying, so it's either above it or right through the middle, and yeah, we kind of just, as straight as you possibly can. Usually the fast car on the track.
Yeah, this is my first season here with Aces Up. You guys put on one hell of a show. Looking forward to the rest of the season. But we got Eldora here in 2 weeks. How do you feel? How do you feel about Eldora? Is that a good racetrack for you?
Past seasons, not really. No. When I first got on the sim, I was really good there for some reason. That seems just how everyone is. But yeah, over time, I've just been a top 10 car for most of it.
Well, before we let you get out of here, I know you guys have been working hard in the pro qualifying series. You guys are looking really good up there. But do you have anybody you want to give a thanks to?
Oh yeah, I gotta thank you guys for streaming. It's pretty sick to be streamed again, and Chad for putting the league on. Oh, we got something now Sunday, and looking forward to these Wednesdays to race the 360s. So yeah, you for streaming. Tanner Pettit Racing, Jimmy P Mac Tools, 1425 Photography, AcesUp SimSports, CD Photography, Trackside Collective, Blake Carrick Racing, and then Ethan Johnson over at Free Speed for helping with the late model stuff.
All right, Ryan. Well, congratulations on a good run again, and hopefully we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
All right, we'll get our third place finisher in here, Tyler Shell. Hey, Tyler, you got Chris Murphy here in the booth. Are you there, buddy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I got you. Really great run out there tonight. You and Tanner and Ryan just put on one hell of a show, to be honest with you. But do you think if you'd have maybe could have got some clean air, do you think you had anything for Aiden?
No, I don't think anybody had anything for Aiden, honestly. Just missed the setup a little bit, and I knew about lap 10. Definitely was just hanging on for dear life. Just was spinning the whole time. So come on with a third, I feel like is a win. Definitely felt like I was gonna fall more. So congrats to those guys. They all ran a good race and definitely hit the setup a lot better than I did. And we'll move on to next week.
Yeah, look, I thought you were gonna hold off Ryan there, coming off through 3 and 4, but we're kind of watching a replay of it right now. Actually, you kind of just slid up just a little bit. The car just a little tight, not able to hold the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, I last like 3 or 4 laps, I could hear someone down there. and I just went down to protect, and I just shouldn't have. I should have just ran the line I was, and maybe I could have squeaked by, but live and learn, and we'll move on to next week. I don't think it's a too bad of a points night, and we'll see what we can do.
Third place finish is a great start to the season. Eldora here in 2 weeks. We take next week off. We're just kind of getting ramped up, and then we take a week off. We come back for Eldora. You know, it's Eldora, famous sprint car track. How do you feel about your run, your chances there in a couple weeks?
Just we'll have to see. Track's known for having run the tops, so see if we can get qualified and see what we can do in a heat race and try to hang on in the future. That's the biggest thing in these, especially in this league, the way he has the point structured. Get a bunch for qualifying and a bunch for the features. So if you can get qualified and get a decent feature finish, it's always gonna definitely be a good night. So just have to start off the night pretty good.
Well, we're gonna get you out of here, but before we do, you have anybody else you want to give a thanks to?
Yeah, just like to thank you for coming on board and broadcasting. Looks like you're doing a really good job so far from what I've seen, and Chad showed me, and we look forward to go back and watch it. And just I gotta thank Chad for putting this deal on, and everybody back at TJM.
Well, appreciate the kind words there. We're trying to do what we can with it. So there's a lot you guys are putting on trying to keep up with you guys. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of action going on. So thanks a lot for that. But we'll hopefully see you up here again in a couple weeks, and good luck for the next couple of weeks going on in your other adventures.
Thank you.
All right.
Same to you.
You
Happy
bet.
holidays.
You as well. All right. So that is going to wrap it up here for Lernerville. We're going to see if we can pull up the full results here for you. All right. So bringing home the win, Aiden Forrester, win number 1 on the season. Ryan Avila there in second. Tyler Shell, our top 3 we talked to. Tanner Pettit, after a great run, they're going back and forth that second spot. Going to come home in 4th. Ethan Johnson started back in 22nd, up 17 spots up to 5th, and it was Cole Croft going to come home in the 6th spot. Kenny Hoffman going to be 7th. Braden Carter going to come home in 8th. Tyler Schaublach in 9th. Josh Whitman going to round out the top 10. And 11th going to be Ricky Thompson, Ryan Paget, William Clapp, Shane Gallo going to be 13th and 14th. Scott Thomason going to come home in 15th. Dustin Simon 16th. Again, Dustin, one of my sponsors here, so check out Stein's Designs if you're looking for some stuff done. Greg Parmley in the 17th spot. Zachary Martin's going to be in 18th. And we're going to go back here through the rest of the field here if I can find my right button here. There we go. Wyatt Schuhart in 19th. Gary Offutt's going to be 20th. Rounding out the field is going to be Owen Wilson and Manon Urish. And we've got Chad Griggs here jumped into the booth here with us. You got something you want to say, Chad? All right. So Chad's in my other telling me we got the hard charger. We're going to bring Ethan Johnson up here with us. Ethan, you got Chris Murphy in the booth. Hey, buddy. Started back in 22nd. You had a little bit of a rough start there in the heat race. What did you see from your perspective? Well, it's a tough field. We did not have quite that many cautions. Only a couple to aid your charge up through the field, and so you made your way 17 spots up to 5th. Do you think if you had one more caution, you had anything for the guys up front? Now, we've covered you in a couple of your late model races. First time we've seen you in a sprint car. I got to say, man, you looked really good out there. I think you're going to be a challenge for these guys throughout the rest of the season. And I see you're up towards the front there in the Pro Series qualifying as well. So I think you got to handle these sprint cars there, buddy.
They're not my cup of tea, so we're behind a little bit, but I think we're making decent pace.
Well, I just realized that I did a broadcaster's rookie mistake and had you muted for first part of the interview, so I caught the end of it. So just for everybody else, one more time, uh, I'll ask you the question one more time. So, like I said, we've seen you in the late models, and you're looking good in the Pro Series qualifying, and you got about 8 more races here to go with these guys. How you feel about the rest of the season?
I feel confident. I think we can have a couple. I think we can maybe finish top 5 every race. Just have a couple solid runs as a couple of things goes our way. Maybe we could sneak one in. I mean, I'm not confident. The top 4 is one of the best on the game. So it would be hard to beat these guys.
Well, I apologize for cutting you off there early. If everybody out in the streamland think I was talking to myself, I kind of was, I guess. But we got Eldora in a couple of weeks. Have you made any laps in the sprint car around Eldora yet?
No, 0 laps. Most of my laps are around Volusia and Houston. That's about it.
Well, you got 2 weeks to practice it up, so I'm sure before we get there in 2 weeks, you're gonna be running up towards the front. So good run here tonight. Nice charge up from the back. And one more time, you have anybody you want to give a thanks to?
Yeah, I gotta thank Tanner Pettit Racing. I show up and put the setup in and run, and I'm always competitive. Jimmy P. Mac Tools, 1425 Photography, AcesUp SimSports, Clayton Davies Cinematography, Trackside Collective, Blake Carrick Racing, you for broadcasting, and everybody else.
Well, congratulations one more time. Thanks for being here. Good luck the rest of whatever you do in the next couple of weeks. I'm sure we'll see you somewhere, but we'll see. Hopefully, we'll see you up here in the podium in the booth here again in a couple of weeks.
Yep, hopefully. Thank you.
You bet. All right, so that's going to wrap it up. So not only forgot to bring the hard charger into the booth, but then I left him muted for a few minutes. So sorry about that. So Ethan Johnson with a great run. Anytime I've seen Ethan run anywhere, he's been up towards the front in just about anything he runs. But Tanner Pettit Racing, the TPR Racing, takes 4 of the top 5 spots here at Lanier Speedway. So this is going to wrap it up for me. So I'm going to bring up the schedule here one more time. We'll cover that where we're going to be next week. Let's see if I can find the right button. There we go. So 2 weeks from tonight, we're going to be at Eldora Weed Sport on the 10th. We got 8 more races left to go in this 9-week schedule. We're going to end up at Knoxville on February 11th. So one more time, thanks to Chad Griggs for having us here with the AcesUp SimSports 360 Winter Sprint Series. And I keep saying it backwards. It's 360 Sprint Winter Series. So, Winter Freeze. Wow, I'm going to get this right one of these times. 360 Sprint Winter Freeze Series. There we go. All right. So thank you, Chad. I will try not to mess that up anymore as we go along. But my name is Chris Murphy with DRSN Digital Racing Sports Network. Thanks for being here, and we will see you again next time.